Welcome, everyone. Today we're looking at some really interesting chatter around a potential new Samsung Galaxy phone.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of buzz. It sounds like something pretty different might be on the way.
Exactly. We're hearing the name Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge, and the rumor launch date is May 13th, 2025.
hmm With China and South Korea possibly getting it first around May 23rd, then US and global following maybe May 30th.
Right. But what's really got people talking is this combination reports of an ultra-slim design, but paired with supposedly very powerful performance.
That's the intriguing part, isn't it? Usually when you make something that thin, you expect compromises. Performance, battery,
Yeah.
something usually gives.
Precisely. So this idea of having both is, well, it makes you wonder how they're pulling it off. Let's dig into that performance claim first.
Okay, so the rumor is it's running the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor.
And for anyone following chips, that's Qualcomm's top-of-the-line mobile offering right now.
Exactly. We're talking an octa-core setup. It sounds like two prime cores hitting up to 4.32 gigahertz.
4.32. Wow.
Yeah, and then six performance cores running at 3.53 gigahertz. But the really big deal here, I think,
Go on.
is the shift to Qualcomm's own custom CPU architecture. Their second-gen Orion cores.
Right. This isn't just tweaking ARM designs anymore, is it? It's their own thing.
It's a fundamental change. And the reports are suggesting, what, up to a 50% performance jump compared to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3?
50%?
Yeah.
That's huge. That's not an incremental update.
Not at all. It really signals Qualcomm wanting to, properly lead in high-end processing. Plus, there's talk of 24 maybe of L2 cache.
Okay. Big cache.
Yeah, and the Adreno 830 GPU. That's supposedly 40% faster and 40% more power efficient. So a bit of graphics, less battery drain, hopefully.
Efficiency part is key, especially if it's going in such a thin device. What about benchmarks? Are there any early numbers floating around?
There are some leaked figures, yeah. Geekbench 6 showing around 3,033 single-core and maybe 9,271 multi-core.
That multi-core score is pretty hefty.
It is. And Antutu scores are apparently around the 2.7, maybe 2.76 million mark. Impressive numbers.
And what about heat? Packing all that power into a slim body.
Well, interestingly, the reports also mentioned thermal testing. Surface temperatures supposedly stayed around 33 degrees Celsius, even under load.
That's quite cool, actually, for intense testing.
It suggests pretty effective thermal management. And it seems they're using the full 8-core version of the chip in the Edge, not a scaled-back one.
Which probably helps with heat distribution, maybe, using the whole die area.
Potentially, yeah. It implies they're confident in their cooling solution, whatever it is, even within that slim profile.
Okay, so that leads us nicely to the other big story. The design, that 5.8 millimeter thickness.
It's kind of hard to even picture, isn't it? 5.8 millimeter.
It really is. Let's put it in context. The other rumored S25 models. The standard S25 is maybe 7.25 millimeters, the plus 7.35 millimeter.
Okay, so noticeably thicker already.
And the S25 Ultra, that's expected around 8.2 millimeters. So this Edge is nearly 2.4 millimeters thinner than the Ultra.
Wow, that's a massive difference in your hand. Almost a quarter of a centimeter.
It really is. But, as we said, getting that thin must involve trade-offs.
Absolutely. And it sounds like the camera might be where one of those trade-offs happened. Some earlier speculation pointed to maybe a 6.4 millimeter design,
Ah, okay, slightly thicker.
which apparently could have housed a triple camera setup. But to hit that 5.8 millimeter target, the latest info suggests they've gone with a dual camera instead.
So, likely dropping the dedicated telephoto lens.
That seems to be the compromise, yes. It really highlights that constant balancing act in phone design form versus features.
It suggests they're really prioritizing that super slim feel, that aesthetic, maybe aiming for a different kind of premium feel.
It could be. And the rumored materials seem to back that up. Talk of a titanium frame, maybe a ceramic back panel.
Instead of the Gorilla Glass Victus 2 expected on the other S25s.
Right, titanium and ceramic would definitely scream premium, and they might also offer better rigidity for such a thin phone.
Good point. Structural integrity would be crucial. And the colors mentioned titanium jet black, titanium silver, titanium icy blue. They sound pretty high-end, too.
They definitely fit that premium sort of minimalist vibe you might expect with an ultra-slim design.
Okay, so let's circle back to that camera system. Even with the dual setup, what are we actually expecting?
Well, the main camera sounds pretty serious, actually. A 200 megapixel primary sensor?
200 megapixels. Okay, so they aren't skimping there.
Apparently not. It's rumored to have an f1.7 aperture lens and optical image stabilization.
Yeah.
And interestingly,
Yes.
it's supposedly the same main sensor as the one expected in the S25 Ultra.
Really? So the top-tier sensor in the slimmest phone, that's quite a statement.
It is. It suggests the core image quality is still a priority. That main sensor is paired with a 12-megapixel ultra-wide lens.
Right, so main and ultra-wide, no dedicated zoom lens as we suspected.
Correct. But the strategy seems to be leveraging that huge 200 MP sensor for zoom.
Ah, using digital cropping from that massive resolution.
Exactly. High-resolution cropping combined with, Samsung's AI image processing, which keeps getting better. They're likely aiming to get usable zoom quality that way.
It's a different approach than optical zoom for sure, but maybe effective enough for many users, especially if the AI smarts are good.
And you'd expect all the usual Galaxy AI camera features, plus things like 8K video recording, the expert RAW modes.
Yeah.
It should still be a capable system.
And the front camera.
Looks like a solid 12-megapixel unit as well, with dual-pixel autofocus and capable of 4K 60 fps video. So pretty standard flagship fare for selfies and video calls.
Okay, so putting it all together, the S25 Edge sounds like a fascinating proposition. This blend of extreme thinness, potentially class-leading performance.
And a main camera sensor taken straight from the top-end Ultra model. It's quite a mix.
It really makes you think about where smartphone design is heading, doesn't it? That balance between having every possible feature and having a device that feels, well, incredibly sleek and light.
Yeah, what do people prioritize more? Is there a growing market for this kind of ultra-slim device, even if it means rethinking certain features like optical zoom? This phone could be a real test case for that.
Definitely something to watch. We'll have to keep an eye out for more concrete details as we get closer to that rumored May launch.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how it's positioned and, crucially, how much it costs.
Good point. Well, that's all we have for now on the potential Galaxy S25 Edge. Lots to think about. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.